Folks, we have ourselves a basketball team in Knoxville, Tennessee this year. This is the House Flirting Sports Channel. Foggy, not going too good with the camera right now, but sorry for the technical difficulties. There we go. Going a little bit. We got ourselves a basketball team in Knoxville, guys. If you watch the last two nights, you just saw 2 nights of dominating basketball. That's what it boils down to it. If you were one of those last night in the first half, you said this is a 4 or 5 seed. When are we getting an offense or anything? Shame on you. You let it play out because since then, this team has been absolutely dominant. Absolutely dominant last 2 nights. What a great showing in the Bahamas. So many positives to take out of this game. Not only tonight, but last night as well. Didn't go live as a little late. We went a lot later than I anticipated last night on that one. But this team, man, if you've listened to my shows when I've talked about it along the way, this team and what they have, this is a deeper, it's a more well-rounded team than they were last year. I get it. It's still early in the year and stuff. There's a long way to go. We'll find out more when we get in SEC play, but you can see it right now. There's so many ways this team can beat you. I mean, you look at the stats tonight on here for Tennessee. You had, of course, Chaz Lanier went for 25 in the first half and really didn't do much in the second half. He didn't score any in the second half. You had Ziegler with 7, Milicic 10, Meshack 2, Para went for 3. Let's see here. Let me find. I'm on these live stats. So they're, let's see. Besides that, you had Boswell. Of course, he played late. Dubar 3, Gainey 16, Cade Phillips 11. I thought both of those guys played really good games tonight. This plus-minus stat line does not tell the story for me tonight because I thought Cade Phillips was excellent when he was in. It's got him -2 when they were in. Jordan Gainey, it's got his plus-minus 0. He had 16. I thought he had a heck of a game. I mean, he just along the way, that Chaz Lanier the first half, the last half of last night, and then the first half of tonight, Chaz Lanier was ridiculous. He was ridiculous in what he did on that. Let me hit some comments here, and we'll hit Out of the Woods here. What's going on, Out of the Woods? Thank you so much for your generosity here. Let's give Frank some money. Help bring Chaz. Well, I don't know about that, but I was all over that Chaz commitment from the get-go. I'm going to shed the old glasses here for a little bit. I believe I can see a little better on the screen here without them. But that was one the whole time, that Chaz Lanier recruitment. I felt pretty good about it, and he got it through the finish line. And I'll tell you what, these last 2 nights, any of you that were following along with that recruitment when Chaz was in the portal, it's down to Kentucky, BYU, Tennessee, kept getting my favorite Kentucky fan, old Pamela. Old Pamela kept coming in telling me all these things, and Chaz was going to Kentucky, and the day he announced, he posted some Bible verses, and old Pamela proceeded to come on and tell Frank that, it was a sign. I think this is a sign, Frank. Chaz is telling us something. He's telling us something blue. Yeah, he told us, Pamela. He told us all about it. Chaz Lanier, yep, he's in Tennessee Orange. He is your scoring guy. He is that guy can get red hot on you this year. But to me, though, still yet on this night, when he goes for 25 in the first half, I mean, they had put it out of range at that point. And here's something that gets lost in the shuffle these last 2 nights. That defense was crazy, man. That defense was absolutely crazy. I want to find some of the numbers on it here as well. There's a lot going on. Here we go. That's what I want from ESPN.com. I got the live stats pulled up as well. But looking to split boxes tonight. So UT stats alone for me. I mean, they basically led the entire game. They led the entire game. Time leading 39 minutes, 50 seconds of this one. They scored first, never looked back on it. Let me see here. Some of these are a little bit harder to follow tonight. So Tennessee, of course, 47-20 to half. Baylor did outscore them 42-30 in the second half. But, I mean, at that point, it was over at halftime. Let's face it. Tennessee, again, shot 52% from the floor tonight. Baylor 42. Tennessee shot 44%. They held Baylor to 27%, 6 out of 22. Here was one of the things I like coming into this game tonight was, according to Ken Palm, Tennessee, their defensive rating is number one. Their offense coming in tonight, 19. Baylor, 5th offensively, 45th defensively. I hope I said that right. 5th offensively, 45th defensively. You look back last year when Tennessee played teams with those splits, high-level offense, lower-level defense. Tennessee feasted on those teams. Happened again tonight. I said it when I did the video this morning. Talked about this game, how I looked at it, how it played to me. I mean, especially you look at it, Baylor played double overtime last night. Yeah, I know it took some out of them. Let's face it, though. Tennessee beat the crap out of them tonight. They beat the crap out of them. No ifs, no ands, no buts about it tonight. Green Wave was here early. Said, heads up, Vols win bigly, and appreciate this one, too. He said, Frank Rock is legit. Appreciate that, Green Wave. Kerry Williams in the house says, go Vols. What an annihilation. What's going on, Kerry? David Emerson said, Chaz Lanier, just wow. Reese Winters, I agree. Cade Phillips was big in the second half. Para really didn't do a whole lot in the second half. Cade Phillips was in there beating and banging, though. Reese says he's definitely a lot better than Waka. Imagine if Chaz was on the team last year instead of Santee. Hard to say how that would have been there as well. But it's a good point. It's a really good point. They needed another score against Purdue. They didn't have it. It was Dalton Connect, and that was pretty much it last year. But Cade Phillips doing a heck of a job. On Eric Jones, member of the channel, what's up, man? He says, what's up, Andy? Good win by our Vols. Team, I'm going to tell you, Chaz Lanier's him 7 threes in the first half. Wow, that was amazing. That was insane. That was insane what Chaz Lanier did on there. Tim Bradley, what's going on, man? Boys got hot, not 2 ranked teams in 2 days is impressive. They played a Virginia style last night. Virginia last year was the slowest paced team in all college basketball. I didn't really notice the slow pace last night. I know they take the shot clock down and stuff. But, once Tennessee got rolling in that second half, it was kind of like tonight. Lanier hit that first shot. He got rolling. They never looked back. Milicic come through. And here's the thing of it was Zakai Ziegler. What he totaled, like 10 points in this. Make no mistake about it. Tennessee does not need Zakai Ziegler to score 20 points to be effective. Anybody watch that? His ball handling, and he was getting absolutely roughed up tonight, not called. And I appreciate the fact that the refs let him play. But come on, man. There was some times there, especially at the end, where he was just getting mugged, basically, and they were not calling it. But, I loved it. The one guy pushed him, and Ziegler just looked at him, exchanged some words. He didn't seem to get too bothered by it. Really, none of the Tennessee guys did. They're more or less, I think, their mindsets. If you want to play rough, we'll play rough. This is a physical team. And what I liked with Cade Phillips as well, I talked about in offseason how he transformed his body. Baylor center, who was doing some good things, was trying to back him down. He couldn't back him down. He scored. It was pretty unorthodox. It was pretty out of control. But it wasn't for the fact that he was just pushing Cade Phillips around or anything. That was a positive to me. And Cade Phillips' minutes tonight was a big positive, and just, where he's gone with it. And I've seen, a lot. They played with a 9-man rotation. We saw Darling Stone Dubar. I think once you get him fully implemented into this rotation, I really like his game, what he adds, and just the little bit that we saw. I think he can be a big add to this team. 30 points off our bench. Our bench every game has been big on this. It really has. Looking at bench points tonight, Tennessee outscored Baylor 30-7 That was a big one. Tennessee did get outscored in the paint tonight, 24-24. And on the rebounds tonight, they got beat 29-28. Rick Barnes will probably not be too thrilled with that one. But I mean, 1 point. And then tonight, Baylor did get 20 points off turnovers. Most of Tennessee, or all of Tennessee's games so far, teams have really had a hard time scoring off of turnovers against Tennessee. Baylor, a little bit more luck on that tonight. I mean, Tennessee did have 15 turnovers to Baylor's 12 on the night. The assists, I want to look at it as well. Tennessee had 18-15. Baylor only had 12 assists on the night. So, I mean, Tennessee definitely out-assisted them. Tennessee had 15-12 on second chance points. Fast break points, only 2-0 for Tennessee. 4 blocks for UT, 8 steals tonight compared to 1 block, 4 steals for Baylor. Just a really good night for Tennessee as well. And I want to find home stat. There we go. Where's my favorite? The analytics on the night. Looking at what we had, efficiency. Nope, I don't want Baylor's efficiency. I do want Tennessee's. Here we go. Analytics, the efficiency. This one probably will not surprise you. Leading guy efficiency-wise tonight was, yep, you guessed it, Chaz Lanier. Zakai Ziegler, 14. Cade Phillips, 14. Gainey, 13. Milicic, 12. Meshack, 8. Dubar, 6. Akpara, 3. Not one of his better nights tonight so much, but, you know, he's still Akpara. I'm really not looking for him to score. He scored 3 points. He had 3 rebounds. Didn't have any blocks tonight. Only 15 minutes of time. I mean, Ziegler played 38 minutes. Lanier 33. Meshack 34. Phillips went 21. And then Gainey 25. Milicic only played 21 tonight as well. And we saw 12 minutes out of Dubar. Saw a little bit more out of him tonight. I just think you got to be really excited right now, based on what we've seen out of Tennessee. And, yeah, I think definitely Chaz was the guy. I still don't know that he's necessarily connect. We'll see. We're going to see. I mean, people's getting a little loose with that comparison right now because I think we forget how good Dalton Connect was last year. And you're seeing it in the NBA right now. To say it also, maybe it's more of I really just think Lanier has more around him than Connect had too. And that's what impressed me more about it. And I'm not taking away from Lanier, but I'm also not trying to minimize what Dalton Connect did last year. I'm seeing a lot of people already kind of minimizing what he did, or at least in my opinion, that's the way it looks. And that's definitely not the case. Yeah, there was, make no mistake, there were definitely some DK flashbacks there as well. Igor is definitely a ball player. I've been saying that ever since he, if you ever get the time, go back to some of my videos on Igor back in the summer, back before the season, just looking at his video, looking at what he does. The dude can play. He can absolutely play some ball. Balls beat Baylor by 15 without Estrella and Carr. I don't know. I'll be honest, they're both going to be out for a while. So they're not going to be there at any point. I don't know how much of a difference Estrella makes just because we hadn't seen enough of it. I mean, Cam Carr was starting to come along. I was afraid of that injury the way it looked on Sunday. He's definitely out 4 to 6 weeks. But refs were interesting. Like I said, I appreciate the fact they let him play, but I think there were times it was a little too much. I totally agree with this. Announcers kept making comments and excuses for Baylor. Oh, they're tired from last night. Tennessee was drilling them. It didn't matter what. That, like I said, you're coming in the 5th-ranked offense and the 45th-ranked defense. That is Tennessee's teams that they can handle. These high-ranked offense, we saw it last year with Alabama. Tennessee can stifle that top-ranked offense. They just can. And if you can't, if you're a lower defense, Tennessee's they're going to do their thing against you. And we played with basically 9 guys, and he really played 8. I mean, Boswell last 2 nights only gotten at the end. So this is good. Not only is this good depth, it's solid depth, and we're just getting Dubar broken in. I mean, if you get Estrella back, which that one's really iffy, Cam Carr should be back probably around conference play, hopefully. This is a good basketball team. And I made the video for the season. I said, is this the Rick Barnes, the year Rick Barnes can win one? And I have some coming in laps and no, there's no way. Jimmy Dykes, who's pretty good, had Tennessee his preseason top 5. He said, this team is legit. Ken Palm's got him 5th. What I look at tonight, JBL Bracketology, I just ran across them. They're very high on the top 5. This ain't the 11th ranked team in the country. I'm just telling you that right now. It's just not. And yes, agree with the general here. Smash that like button. If you're a listener, a watcher, or whatever, and you have not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. Be glad to have you as part of the channel. I don't know if we're going to get 3,000 before the end of the year, but man, if we get 2,500, that'd be pretty cool. It's been a great year for this channel. It really has. I come in 100 a month. I was good with that. 100 a month. Let's get 1,200 by the end of the year. Really good chance we're going to double that. It's been awesome. Thank you guys so much for the support. Blunt Vegas, what's going on, brother? Phillips has improved. Awesome to see. He has most definitely improved. I mean, they said it tonight. What, he scored 12 points last year? He almost equaled that tonight with 11. He's active on the boards. He's athletic. My biggest thing with him, I'd like to see him finish a little better around the rim. He was good on it tonight. He should have had the and one tonight. But they talked about in the offseason how, and I know at the end of last year, some of the writers for it was like, I wouldn't be surprised to see Phillips go into portal. He didn't. Hats off to him. He didn't go into portal. I don't know how real it was either. He stuck around. He put into work. He transformed his body. They said he went to that coaching staff, said, I won't become a better basketball player. It's obvious the work he's put in has paid off. And make no mistake about it, Rick Barnes and his staff, they can develop talent. We're seeing it each year. Now, there's some guys that, I am a believer in ceilings, that you hit a ceiling, and I think we've seen guys hit that. But with Phillips, he's still going right now. This dude, he's doing some good things. This team's definitely going to have a chance at an Elite 8, or who knows? Maybe they get to that point they never have before. I mean, there's still a long way to go. There's some good teams out there. I'm trying to figure out really what is Tennessee's flaws. I don't know that we're going to know it on these non-conference schedules. Illinois on the road, to me, will probably be the biggest test, going to Madison Square Garden to play Miami. Of course, Miami just lost correct me if I'm wrong, wasn't it like Stetson? So, but Madison Square Garden has been a house of horrors for Tennessee. So, can they exercise those demons? You're getting Miami. Say you're getting Syracuse at home and at Illinois. I think that at Illinois is going to be your best, toughest non-conference game. And then you get into conference play. I think there's part of me wonders if we'll really find out what we need to about Tennessee until we get into conference play on that one. What's up, Rhonda? Good seeing you. Right on, Frank. Do you know anything on the return of JP? Questionable based on what I'm reading. It's some kind of foot injury that keeps, I don't know if it's a stress fracture. I hadn't really been able to put it together. Maybe I've just forgotten what it is, but it doesn't seem to me like his return is imminent by any means. And, there is a chance, I think possibly you could see him redshirt this year. I'm not going to rule out that he could return, but it just doesn't sound to me like it's real promising right now. I hope I'm wrong based on how I'm reading it. So definitely don't take that as the gospel on what I'm saying, but nothing I'm reading on the injury leads me to believe that it's just a minor injury. So it seems like it's something that's been going on since before the season started. You know what I like about Gainey's game? Gainey has gotten a lot better. I like him driving to the hoop the way he is this year. Last year, I felt like he was content just being a three-point shooter. It's kind of like Josiah Jordan James. I thought James' game was driving to the hoop. He was content to sit outside and shoot. Gainey was the same way last year. Gainey's getting to the hoop this year. I like it. I like that. He's getting to the free throw line. I mean, like tonight, this team, let me get back to their game box here as well. They, where are we at here? 17 out of 22 at the free throw line tonight. I like that number on it. I mean, Gainey was, he was 7 out of 8 from the free throw line tonight. That shows me there the fact that he's getting to the hoop and against the good teams. You know, this isn't just Montana or whomever. This is the best team they've played so far in Baylor, in my opinion. And the fact he's getting to the hoop, big for him tonight. Connect with one more. Connect and Lanier would have been crazy together. We'll try to get caught up on his. Baylor got smoked. Plain and simple as that. They got smoked tonight. DK was the man. And Lanier's going to do, he's going to have those nights on it. He's going to have it. For sure. But, you know, I agree with Blunt Vegas here. He's doing awesome. But, you know, the comparisons, let's let Lanier do his own thing right now. DK was the man. DK is probably, we hadn't seen anybody like that, at least in a very long time, who could do what he did. And, you know, if you're keeping up with him with the Lakers and the NBA, of course, me, it was perfect for me. I'm a Lakers fan going back to the Showtime era with Magic Johnson, Kobe. That was my two guys always throughout the years. I couldn't believe it when he fell to him. And, you know, DK's the man, too. Lanier's, it's funny to me last night, Lanier pretty early in the game got pulled. Barnes was on him. Barnes led into him. And then it was on after that. So what I liked on that was he can take hard coaching. And he got it last night, too. Yep, I think you look at last year's team, you had, if Ziegler would have went for 3 points and like he did tonight, they would have probably been in trouble. But because they relied on him, I felt like more for scoring last year. Don't Connect would carry the load. Adu would help some. Let's make no mistake about it. Adu did a lot of good things for Tennessee last year. Awako's more of a board guy. I mean, James had his moments scoring. He'd have his spurts of it. Vescovi never really scored a whole lot last year. And Gainey, inconsistent on it as well. They really, you know, I'm probably forgetting someone here in it. But to me, like tonight, Lanier goes for 25. You've got Milicic who can do it all. Parra's going to be more that guy who takes care of the rim. I feel like Dusty Rhodes here. I guess I need to do this here. I keep doing that with my hands tonight. But Parra's going to be that guy down low. He's going to have some games he's going to score double digits. Meshack can do some things. Gainey looks a lot better this year. Cade Phillips has taken that step. I do think it hurt more losing Cam Carr. Well, I won't say more because of Estrella. I think you need all the big man depth you can get. So I would like to see him in there. But I think Estrella's contributions are being overestimated as to what he was going to do. But, I mean, it's easy for me to say considering he's been hurt the whole year as well. Cade Phillips is taking advantage of it. Really kind of reminds me of football where Cam Seldon was out. Deshaun Bishop stepped in, took advantage of it, where now Deshaun Bishop's been hurt. Now Peyton Lewis is stepping in, taking advantage of it. That's kind of what it reminds me of here with Estrella going out. Cade Phillips is capitalizing off of that as well. Igor needs to be the man. With Chaz and Lanier, we could go far in the tournament. You're seeing it, man. Igor, said, I'm really high on him and his game. There's nothing he can't do. Literally nothing he cannot do. I've said this numerous times. Rod Clark, before the season, in an interview, was talking about Igor and said, we ran him at point guard. He said, at 6'10", he said, he didn't look too bad at it either. I mean, we saw it last night when he went down the lane. If he would have finished that dunk, it would have been insane. He got to the free throw line and he bricked the dunk. But, I mean, you can't really fault him on it. He got to the free throw line. But Milicic is really good. He's a really good basketball player. He's a really, to me, a high IQ guy. He can shoot, he can drive, he can dribble, he can pass, he can rebound, he can block shots. Meshack, top defensive player in college basketball. You cannot tell me anything else otherwise. Any defensive players list in college basketball that has Jermaine Meshack lower than number one is invalid. It's invalid. The guy, you can't back him down. I mean, he's built like a tank. You can't hardly get an inbounds play in on him. Will guys score on him? Sure, they're going to occasionally. They're not going to score a lot on him, though. He can steal. He can block shots. I mean, Meshack's a stud. He is. Too many people look at the box score of scoring. This dude impacts the game in so many ways. Cade Phillips. Like I said, my only complaint finish around the rim, but he's gotten a lot bigger than he was. You can tell he's beefed up. He's stronger. He's doing really well. We definitely got to get Estrella back, but I'll be honest, man. I am really I don't know. What I've been reading, I've not seen positive reports, so hopefully it's something. Just needs a little bit of time off, take a little bit of rest, and we can get him back in, especially when we get closer to SEC play along the way. But I can't say I'm really feeling great about it right now, but we'll see. I like this one. Here, it looked like a football game at the end, as Olivia Newton-John would say. It got physical. It most certainly did. Baylor was getting a little physical. Tennessee can get physical. That's what I like. They were getting physical. Tennessee, you didn't see him getting upset about it. I mean, Ziegler, he had some words for the guy that pushed him down, but they didn't get bothered by it. That's the way Tennessee will play. They'll do it. Tony White, number 11. Tony White was, Blunt Vegas, you could probably go. Has there been a better point guard in Tennessee basketball history than Tony White? If there is, man, I'd be hard-pressed to find who it is. Yep, I think Illinois on the road is going to be a really good task. Definitely agree. Meshack, Defensive Player of the Year. Team is taller. It is. I mean, you look at it, too. You look at – let's see. I know you got Para 6'11". You got Milicic 6'10". You got Lanier, 6'5", 6'4", depending on what you look at. You've got Meshack 6'4". You got Dubar, who comes in at 6'8". I'm pretty high on Dubar. I think it says 6'6" on UT Sports, but I swear I thought they said he was 6'8". I mean, you've got Boswell 6'4" when he comes in. Jordan Gainey 6'4". Estrella, when we get him back, 6'11". Here is Akpara 6'11", Cam Carr 6'6". It's a long team for sure. And this is a really good point. Seems like this team is gelling already. And that was kind of a question when you incorporate that many transfers. You're incorporating Akpara, you're incorporating Milicic, Chaz Lanier. Now Dubar's getting into the fold. I mean, and it still may be a little while before they fully gel with Cam Carr out for, a month and a half. If Estrella does come back, you're going to have to incorporate them back in as well. So, but to me, it looks like a team, and they are really gelling well. They're playing well together. And this is 2 nights in a row. I mean, you held Baylor tonight to what you did percentage-wise. Let me pull that back here. Again, you held them to under 30% from three-point. A really good shooting three-point team. 42% from field goal. Last night against Virginia, I mean, they held Virginia to ridiculous numbers here. Let me see if I can find that back here again, because those numbers, they smothered Virginia last night. Absolutely smothered them. I thought they smothered Baylor for a good part. Baylor got a little bit of traction going in the second half tonight, but the first half, I mean, Virginia last night scored 21 points in each half. They had one dude scored 12 points, and that was it as far as guys scored in double digits. Virginia shot 30% from three last night, 28.6% for the game from field goal range. That's insane. That is insane defense. Crazy what they're doing with this defense. Right now, too, I want to see. I like KenPom rankings. They update pretty regularly. So they've got it now. They've got Tennessee up to 4th. So, yeah, they still have them the number 1 defensive rating. KenPom has Tennessee up to the number 10 offensive rated team as well. So we have not seen a Rick Barnes team have this high level of an offense. And I keep talking about it. They're going to play defense. And what surprises me is the transfers, the defense they're playing. You know the guys who are coming back, they're going to play that defense. But the fact that Lanier was playing good defense, that was one of the knocks on him as to why he probably wasn't drafted. Milicic is playing it. I mean, Dubar's getting there banging in the minutes he's gotten so far. Para, if you take it down the lane, the odds are it's going back out. And this is a good basketball team. I have enjoyed it 2 nights in a row. I know last night, the first half was, they're going to have it. I wasn't too worried about it. It's, I seen a lot of overreactions in that first half last night. And it really makes me shake my head. Let the game play out. Let the game play out. Because that second half was very enjoyable last night. What they did with Lanier, with Milicic, with that defense, with how they just whipped Virginia last night. And then tonight was pretty enjoyable as well that they did it. I know Baylor scored more in the second half. Tennessee, I'm not going to sit here. I'm going to give Baylor the credit in the second half. They were a little bit better in the second half, but the game was already out of reach. It's, this Tennessee team is going to be a handful to deal with this year. They're going to be really hard to deal with, and we need to enjoy it because there is a lot of unknown next year, and it's not looking real good on the recruiting. I mean, they've got their 2 guys in the fold already, but as far as the guys are in on, and they're in on big-time prospects, but it's not looking real good on it. Tennessee's going to have to hit the portal very hard in the off-season. And you never know, maybe you get a couple guys late. They will have some more guys visiting, hopefully, that haven't already. But, we need to enjoy this because you're losing Ziegler, you're losing Meshack. These guys have done so much for Tennessee basketball after this season. And I know we're only a few games in, but people need to enjoy this ride just because this is a very talented basketball team. This does have a chance to become Barnes' best team while he's at Tennessee. Last year's is Barnes' best team while he's at UT. And you really think about that, a lot of that was Dalton connected. Now, their defense was a big part of it. There were definitely numerous guys who had contributions last year for sure. But that was a Dalton Connect team for the most part last year. This one, there's going to be numerous guys who can carry it. And, this was a pretty good little tournament here in the Bahamas. And Tennessee leaves the Baha Mar Classic as the champions tonight. That's a pretty good start to the season. And these little Thanksgiving, these little holiday tournaments are pretty cool. Lots of them going on around. You want to get, the most you can out of it. Tennessee did tonight. And I totally agree with a couple of these. The old Tony White poster, I probably saw that at some point, I would imagine. But thanks for the compliment, man. Good to see you on here tonight. Let's see. JL said it also seems we got more guys that can score if need be. I think you're looking at it. Ziegler can score. Lanier can score. I think Meshack's going to be that guy. He can go for 10 to 15. I don't think we'll look at him to be the primary scorer, but he can hit his hot points. Milicic, we've seen it. He can score. I think there'll be some instances where Akpar is going to be more, and they talked about it in off season. He's going to be more an alley-oop guy. He's going to be more a guy control the paint, probably rebounds and putbacks. Jordan Gainey can score. We're seeing that already. I think when Dubar gets into the fold more, he can score. Cade Phillips, we're seeing more out of him. I mean, if he's putting up 10 points or so, we're seeing that. When we get Cam Carr back, he looked like a guy who could get hot and do some scoring as well. Definitely more scores. And again, the fact that we got in 2 games a combined 10 points out of Zakai Ziegler and still won both games comfortably, that's a very good sign for Tennessee. And I don't know, the last couple of years if that would have been the case. Well, of course, 2 years ago when he went out and Tennessee had a path paved perfectly for them to the Final Four, they got up in the Garden against FAU and things didn't go too well that night. That's why I say they had a chance to avenge that House of Horrors against Miami later on this season. Probably going to wrap up here in just a minute. This has definitely been Gainey and Meshack shooting a lot better, and I totally agree with this. Barnes went out and got scores. Not just a defensive team. He went out and he built a balanced team this year. We're seeing number 1 defensive rating, number 10 offensively, according to Ken Palm. And those are pretty good rankings as well right now. Now, Tennessee's strength of schedule coming up, he's got them. It's not very good, 128. So, I mean, if you look at, like I said, Illinois, I'll look at as Tennessee's best test in non-conference. I mean, Miami just lost on that. Syracuse. Let's see where they got them. I don't see Syracuse anywhere down the line. So it's not one of Tennessee's stronger non-conference schedules. Normally they load them up pretty well. Not this year so much, but yeah, I don't know if you have to. It's going to be a tournament team, no doubt, either way. And, the SEC is going to be tough enough as it is, much less having to pile on with non-conference with it. Vols roll. Trying to see for any last thing that there was. Just really happy with this team so far. Really happy with, other than the 1 half last night, which it was the first half. It was a little slow going, and then they rolled from there. You knew with Virginia, they had to adjust to Virginia's style of ball too. And the fact that they did, and they come out and scored over 40 points in the second half on a Virginia team who plays the style that they do, that was a very positive thing for me as well. Tennessee's next game back in action. Let's see here. Let me pull the schedule here just a minute to look at where we're at. So, Virginia, Baylor. So, they return Wednesday night against UT Martin, or Wednesday afternoon at 4 o'clock. Syracuse, then they'll be off till, the following Tuesday. They play Syracuse Tuesday night. It says 7 or 7:30. And then they're off for a week till December 10th. They'll play Miami, Madison Square Garden. December 14th, which is a Saturday, they play Illinois on the road. They're back at home December 17th against Western Carolina. Middle Tennessee State on December 23rd at home, which is a Monday. Norfolk State, New Year's Eve, 3 o'clock. That wraps up non-conference play, and then they start conference play with Arkansas coming to town on January 4th, which is a Saturday. They go Arkansas, at Florida, at Texas, Georgia at home, at Vandy, Mississippi State at home, at Auburn, Kentucky at home, January 28th, Florida back at home to complete the home and home with them, Missouri at home. So Tennessee's got 3 straight home games there at Oklahoma, at Kentucky, February 11th, Vandy at home, at A&M, at LSU, Bama at home March 1st, at Ole Miss, South Carolina at home March 8th, and that concludes SEC play, and then they get in the SEC tournament in Nashville this year. And you guys, if you've watched me anytime talk about basketball before, my thoughts on the SEC basketball term, I don't care about it. Tennessee can go out in the first game for all. Unless their tournament lives are on the line, I don't care about it. I think conference tournaments are a waste of time. And it's a shame to me that we even have to play these things. It's a shame to me that some of these teams, for example, I always use like East Tennessee State or Wofford or somebody, they win the Southern Conference, but yet the whole body's not good enough. We got to go win a 3 or 4 day tournament in Asheville to get in the tournament. That's ridiculous. It's the dumbest concept that there is out there. Why a team has to go win a conference tournament to get an automatic bid after losing, after winning the whole season. It makes absolutely no sense to me. Syracuse lost Texas Tech tonight. Okay. All right. Yeah, I think that that's some good points. Alabama beat Illinois the other night. I did not see that, actually. I did see Kentucky beat Duke. I've not kept up with a lot of it other than Tennessee. I just don't watch a lot of basketball in Tennessee. We've been watching, trying to watch the Lakers a little bit. Other than those two, I really don't watch a lot of basketball anymore. But, yeah, the SEC strength of schedule, that's where Tennessee's going to get theirs at. They're right now, it's according to Ken Palm, 128. So hopefully we're not having to rely on any strength of schedules down the stretch for tournament bids or anything like that. I don't think we will have to. But I'm going to wrap up on that one, guys. I appreciate you guys tuning in tonight. Again, a great 2 days for Tennessee basketball to me. It was methodical. They took care of business. What more can you ask for? This offense looks good. This defense is still a Rick Barnes defense. And, I just laughed last night. Rick, there was a couple times with that defense they were playing. He didn't have a grin on his face, but I'm telling you, he had a hint of a smirk on his face last night. Like, yeah, I'm liking this defense. You'll never know it, but that was about as close to smirks as I've seen out of Rick Barnes last night, the way that defense was rolling as well. If you guys aren't busy tomorrow, of course, UTEP, Tennessee, 1 o'clock. I think I'm going to go live right after the game tomorrow. We'll talk a little UT football tomorrow. Should take care of business with that. Of course, Tennessee needs a lot of help to get into the playoff, but I hope to see you guys on there tomorrow. We'll check it out. We'll talk some basketball. We'll be back. UT Martin, when did I say it again? Wednesday night or Wednesday afternoon, 4 o'clock. So we'll plan on going live about 6 o'clock on Wednesday. Lady Vols are back in action. Let me find that one here as well. And the Lady Vols, man, that signing class they had was big time. And, if you guys have kept up with the channel some and the content, Lady Vols just signed, I think depending on which one you see, it's pretty much consensus number 2 class. But in fact, they got Lauren Hurst to cap it off. They got Jada Seville. They got Denia Prawl. They got me and Maya Paldo. They got a killer class coming in. Awesome class. Lady Vols are back in action Tuesday night, 7 o'clock. So I'll be live against Western Carolina. Be going live about 9 o'clock right after the Lady Vols finish up as well. So we're rocking and rolling. This thing is full steam ahead. We're rolling. We'll roll right up to baseball. Any of you keep up that. This is my number one priority for the channel is baseball. I'm a baseball. That's kind of my thing. Oh, we're going to do it all on here, though. So thank you for your support. Hope you guys have a great rest of your evening. We can get some sleep now after 2 late nights on here. Hope to see you guys tomorrow after the football game on here. Will be live for that. Frank Rock, House of Orange Sports Channel. Again, thank you so much for your support. Hope you guys sleep good. Have a great rest of your evening. And last but most certainly not least, go Vols.